What would you do if the world's biggest idol suddenly revealed that he plans to leave his own country after getting married? Flushed face, and what if this wasn't just a rumor, but something he said directly in front of a top global journalist? Welcome to Jungkook Lover, the place where every hidden truth, every emotional moment, and every shocking revelation about your favorite idol comes to light. Before we go any further, make sure you hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the biggest BTS stories shaking the world right now. Because what you're about to hear has left fans confused, emotional, and completely divided. Did Jungkook really just hint at leaving Korea forever after marriage? Why did Brian Hiatt look genuinely stunned? And what secret reason could possibly be strong enough to make him walk away from everything he built? Stay with us, because this story is deeper, more emotional, and more shocking than anyone expected. It started as a calm, almost intimate conversation. The kind of interview that feels less like journalism and more like a quiet exchange between two people trying to understand each other. The lighting was soft, the room carried a warm, almost nostalgic atmosphere, and across from each other sat a global music journalist and one of the biggest stars on the planet. Brian Hiatt had interviewed countless artists before. Legends, rising stars, controversial figures. He had seen it all. Or at least, that's what everyone thought, because nothing could have prepared him for what was about to be said. Jungkook, known worldwide as the golden magne of BTS, sat composed, calm, almost unreadable. There was something different in his eyes that day, something deeper, heavier, as if he had been carrying a thought for a long time, waiting for the right moment to let it out. The conversation flowed naturally at first. Music, growth, the future of BTS, the pressures of fame. Safe topics. Expected answers. The kind that fans have heard variations of before. But then, everything shifted. There was a pause. A silence that lingered just a second too long. And Jungkook said something that would send shockwaves across the global fandom. He spoke about the future. Not just his career, not just BTS, but his personal life. Something he rarely, if ever, opened up about in such a direct way. Marriage. The word itself already carried weight. Fans leaned in closer. The atmosphere changed instantly. Even Brian Hiatt, seasoned and composed, seemed to subtly adjust his posture, sensing that this was no longer just a routine interview. And then came the statement, a statement so unexpected, so loaded, that it left the room frozen. Jungkook revealed that after getting married, he might leave Korea. For a moment, it didn't feel real. Did he really say that? Brian Hiatt blinked, clearly caught off guard. His reaction wasn't exaggerated, it was genuine. A rare moment where even a professional interviewer couldn't mask his surprise. Leave Korea? The implication hung heavily in the air. Fans across the world, who would later watch or read this moment, would replay it over and over again, trying to understand the tone, the intention, the meaning behind those words. Was he serious? Was it hypothetical? Was it a joke? Or a hidden truth finally slipping through? The questions multiplied instantly. Why would Jungkook, someone who built his entire identity, career, and legacy in South Korea, consider leaving it behind? Was it about privacy? Was it about love? Or was it something much deeper, something fans had never fully seen? As the interview continued, Jungkook elaborated, but not in a way that gave clear answers. Instead, his words felt layered, almost poetic, as if he was revealing just enough to be honest, but not enough to fully expose everything. He spoke about wanting a normal life. A phrase that, for someone like him, feels almost impossible. Normal. What does normal even mean for a global superstar whose every move is watched, analyzed, and discussed by millions? Could it mean walking freely without being recognized? Could it mean building a family away from constant cameras? Could it mean choosing love over fame? Brian Hiatt listened carefully, his earlier surprise now replaced with a deeper curiosity. He asked follow-up questions, gently probing, trying to understand the heart behind the statement. And Jungkook didn't deny it. He didn't backtrack. If anything, he leaned into the idea. He talked about how life changes after marriage, how priorities shift, how the world you once knew might not fit the person you become. There was a quiet honesty in his voice. Not dramatic, not exaggerated, just real. And that's what made it even more shocking. Because this didn't feel like a scripted answer. It felt like a glimpse into a future Jungkook had already imagined, a future where he steps away, not necessarily from music, but from the environment that defined him. And suddenly, fans around the world found themselves facing a possibility they had never seriously considered before. A Jungkook. Not in Korea. A Jungkook. Living somewhere else, building a life far from the center of K-pop. The reactions were immediate and intense. Some fans felt heartbroken. The idea of him leaving Korea felt like losing a part of BTS itself. Others felt supportive. If this is what he needs to be happy, shouldn't he have the right to choose it? And then there were those who were simply confused. Was this real? Or was it being misunderstood? Clips of the interview spread rapidly across social media. Translations, interpretations, debates. Every word dissected. Every expression analyzed. Did he really mean it? Is he planning something? Who would he marry? The conversation exploded beyond just music. It became personal, emotional, almost philosophical, because at its core, this wasn't just about Jungkook. It was about the price of fame, the sacrifices behind the spotlight, the hidden desires of someone who has given so much of his life to the public. Brian Hiatt later described the moment as one of the most unexpected turns in an interview he had ever experienced. Not because of drama, but because of its sincerity. There was no scandal and no controversy, just a quiet, powerful truth that landed harder than any headline. And perhaps that's what made it go viral, because in a world full of loud, exaggerated stories, this was different. This was subtle. This was human. As days passed, discussions didn't slow down, they intensified. Fans began revisiting old interviews, searching for clues. Had Jungkook hinted at this before? Some pointed to moments where he talked about wanting freedom. Others recalled times he expressed curiosity about living abroad. Was this always part of his dream? Or is this a new thought, shaped by recent experiences? And then came the most emotional layer of all, love. The idea that someone, somewhere, could be the reason Jungkook would consider such a life-changing decision. It added a sense of mystery that fans couldn't ignore. Who is she? Does she exist already? Or is she someone he hasn't met yet? The speculation reached a level that blurred the line between curiosity and obsession. But amidst all the noise, one thing remained clear. Jungkook's words had touched something deeper than just fandom discussions. They sparked a global conversation about identity, freedom, and the right to choose one's own path, even when the world expects something else. And maybe that was the real story all along. Not that Jungkook might leave Korea, but that he dared to imagine a life beyond expectations. A life where he isn't just an idol, but a person, free to love, free to choose, free to leave, if that's what his heart truly wants. And now, the question that continues to divide fans across the world: if the day really comes, if Jungkook truly decides to leave Korea after marriage, will ARMY support his happiness no matter what? Or will this be the moment that changes everything forever? Jungkook has just said something no one expected, and even Brian Hiatt couldn't hide his reaction. In a calm but deeply emotional interview, Jungkook opened up about his future, marriage, and a shocking possibility: leaving Korea after settling down. Flushed face, what did he really mean? Was it just a thought, or a real plan? Fans around the world are now divided. Some are heartbroken, others are supportive. But one thing is clear: this moment has changed everything. Watch until the end to understand the full story behind Jungkook's statement and why it shocked even a top global journalist. Backhand index pointing right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Jungkook Lover for more exclusive BTS updates, theories, and viral moments. Speech balloon, what do you think? Would you support Jungkook if he leaves Korea after marriage?